All right, I am in here in Juliet's room. The walls are really bare because we're in the process of moving, but I want to tell you about sleep training, and not just sleep training, but transitioning your toddler from a crib into a toddler bed. I had pretty well decided that I wanted to transition Juliet into a toddler bed before Wesley was born. He's still in there. That was one of my goals. My other goal is to get her potty trained. Now, this potty training business, that's another video for another time, and we are not there yet. But this transition to the toddler bed has been great. So I'm gonna let you know what we did to get it to work. All right, wanna talk about your toddler bed? So we got her bed all set up. And that was part of our preparation. The second thing you have to do is you have to go through their room again and do like baby proofing 2.0, okay? You've already probably got your outlets covered, right? You've probably already, done some things, but now it's 2.0, okay? Now they're very, very mobile, okay? They're walking around, they're moving around, they're opening things. So, some things to think about. Do you need to secure your furniture to the wall? Is it a tipping hazard? If your child were to open the drawers and start to try to crawl up it, does it rock? Is it gonna fall forward onto them? Something to think about. Another thing to think about, you have to get down on your hands and knees and look around, okay? Your outlets need to be covered. Look under your dressers, make sure there's no dangling wires, okay? If you've got windows, make sure that the cords are tied up or are short where they are not going to be able to reach it. Door stoppers. This was one that we didn't really think about, and I had her in here playing while we were putting her bed together, and she took off the little piece of the door stop. Choking hazard, there you go. So you might want to think about taking those off. Another thing you might want to think about is if your toddler is tall enough. She's not yet, but at the new house, we'll probably put them on. Is your toddler tall enough to turn the door handle? If so, guess what? You need to get those little plastic door things that you put on top of the handle so that, they can spin it, but it's not going to open the door. So that's another thing to think about. Basically, just go through. Make sure that what is in the drawers, if you're not going to put locks on them or sorry, she's trying to get under her bed. If you're not going to put locks on them, child locks on the dresser drawers, make sure that what's in them is safe, okay? Diapers. If she pulls out diapers onto the floor, it's not a big deal. I can pick them up and put them back in. Wipes, same thing. I can pick up the unused white packages and put them in there. Her pajamas, we can put them back in there. That's not a big deal. But little hair ties, little hair things, if you have, I don't know what you have in your drawers, but just make sure that what's in there isn't going to be, she's trying to crawl under the rocking chair, so it's moving, I'm sorry. You have to start to think about, okay, is this safe for my toddler to be in here by themselves? Because there are going to be times where they're going to be awake and they're going to be walking around and they're going to be exploring. No, thank you, ma'am. And you have to be prepared for that. So that's the number one thing. Get your bed set up, make sure the room is going to be safe for them. When you are setting up your bed and taking out the crib, okay? Or maybe you have a convertible crib. Here, come here. You can be in the video. When you're setting up the bed, have them in there. Have them watching and watch you take the crib apart. Put the bed together. We used, sorry, she's trying to get up here in this rocking chair. We used her same bedding. So it looks the same, okay? That wasn't new to her. That wasn't something, you know, foreign to her. It's still her same crib sheets, okay? Oh, a safety thing. You don't have to do this. I put the pillow inside the sheets. I got a flatter pillow and I just put it inside the sheet. And so I mean, she has toys all on her bed, but, and a blanket. And she usually ends up grabbing some more blankets as well. But anyway, so have them watch and let them see you put it together. Now, once you've got all your room set up, once you've got the bed set up, then it's time to start. We started with nap time first. And I did nap time first because I knew that I was going to have more energy to handle the situation if we started at nap time versus if we had tried to start at bedtime. At bedtime, I would be really tired, but also they're going to be a little bit more tired. So it's just really, I think it's a preference. So this is where, next step, okay? This is where if you did sleep training, it's going to come in handy, okay? Sleep training into their crib and sleeping by themselves. If you need information about sleep training, I have a whole video about it and a whole post about it on my blog. So check that out, okay? Because I think that can really, I think that made all the difference because we already had an established bedtime routine, okay? We do the same thing every single night. We do the same thing at nap time. And so I think that made a huge difference. So the day came, okay? Saturday of week before last. The crib's gone. The bed is set up. Go time. So we take her in. We get in the rocking chair. We read our books. We get into our bed. We have our passy. We still give her a passy when she naps. This is our routine. This may not be what your routine looks like, but just make sure you have a consistent routine. So, read her some of her favorite books. Laid her down. She had her passy. We put the blanket on top of her. Okay, we told her, okay, take a good nap. We turned on her soother, we turned out the light, and we left. She got up, and she cried, and she fussed, and she cried and fussed for a good while, and then she started to play. She's pulling things out of the dresser. She's pulling her toys out. She's pulling more books out. And she's starting to play. I let that go on for about 45 minutes because this is the first time and I didn't expect it to go like really, really well. So I let it go for about 40 minutes maybe. And then I went in. I put her into her bed. Picked up a book and I read her another book, maybe 2 books, okay? I hummed a little song to her, told her it's nap time. You're gonna clean up? Awesome. And then I left the room again. And she cried and she fussed. And I'm watching her on the monitor the whole time. And she started to play a little bit. And then you know what happened? She got into her bed with her toys. And she was playing. And she turned on her soother. And then she fell asleep. For a first time, I think all together, it took about an hour 10, an hour 15 minutes. Which I would say is pretty good. That night, she was a lot more tired, okay? We didn't try to put her to bed real early, okay? We actually waited a little bit past her normal bedtime, maybe by 30 minutes, did our same bedtime routine, okay? The same thing we always do. She had dinner. We clean up. She gets her bath. We read some stories. Now, she wanted to read in her bed. So we've transitioned to reading to her in her bed. She sits in her bed. We read her books. We say our night-night prayers. And get a kiss goodnight. And then we leave the room. But here we are a week later. A little over a week later. And she's a champ, y'all. When she gets up in the morning, sometimes she gets up and she gets some toys, but she usually goes back to her bed and she just waits for me to come get her. And I really think that the key to all of this has been having an established routine, okay? And doing that sleep training, I think has really, really helped to make the transition from a crib to a toddler bed a lot easier. The first couple days, she made huge messes in here, y'all. They're gonna make big messes. They're gonna pull stuff out of their dresser. They're gonna pull all their books out off their little shelves if they have them. Or, you know, we have a little book bucket. It's completely empty right now. You wanna know where they all are? There you go. Their toys. Okay, see your toys? They're gonna be all on the floor. It's gonna be a disaster. But don't worry about the mess, okay? Just focus on the goal is to get them to sleep in the bed. I also want to say this. Every child is different, okay? So my experience may not be your experience, okay? Because every child's different. They all have different personalities. Some catch on to things really quickly. Some are really stubborn and they want things the way they want things, and they're going to be a lot harder to transition. But the key is having that established routine and being consistent with it, okay? That's my recommendation to you, okay? Have an established bedtime routine, have an established nap time routine. Then, once that is just like ingrained in them, then transition to the toddler bed. And then just start trying, okay? It's not gonna be easy, okay? And, you know, it's hard. Nobody wants to see their child fussing and crying. But you know what? If you know they have a clean diaper, they're fed, they're fine, they know the routine, okay? This is a little new to them, but they're going to learn and they're going to pick up on it. So just be consistent, okay? Because you can do it. And it's great now, okay? Because now, instead of her waking up in the morning and getting bored in her crib quickly, okay, she's able to get up and she'll grab some books. And I'll come up to get her and she's in her bed reading some books. Or she's got her baby dolls or a Barbie. And she's usually in her bed playing. Okay, she'll get up and get her books or her toys and she'll get back in bed and play. Sometimes she'll get up and she'll play. which is nice because it allows me to not have to stress out about, oh my gosh, she's crying. Let me hurry up and get some milk in a sippy cup and hurry up and get some cereal together or some oatmeal together or something together before I go get her so that that's ready. I don't have to do that, okay? Because I know she's good. She's up here. She's got stuff to kind of occupy her so that I can get breakfast together and then go get her. That's just been my experience, and it's been really great. So anyway, so we're about a week in. She has started waking up a little bit earlier, but like I said, most of the time if she wakes up earlier, she'll play for a little bit. So I can be like, okay, I can wake up and get breakfast and stuff ready and then go get her. Anyway, this has been a great experience. I hope that this video helps you. For more information and more details and to see my basic day-by-day breakdown, check out my post, okay? There's a lot more information in my post than I could fit in this 20-minute video. But anyway, I love you guys. I hope that this helps. I really recommend transitioning them early because it's really great.